Hello, this is Robert Alexander Jones on 15th of March 2009. Update to the story so far. Right. Given up voluntary work in the field of biodiesel. I'll tell you what that was about. The end of the academic year last year, I started doing voluntary work in a biodiesel plant. It was quite convenient. I was doing plumbing in the college, and I went to a lecture about green energy. Realised they make biodiesel up the road in Capel-Hendra, so I went up to buy some, so I got a diesel car, and it transpired they were building a plant at the back, so I went along to help build that. So I've been doing a lot of work on that. And then they bought a new plant, which is in Tredegar, and I moved in there. They gave me a flat because I was living with my parents, and they gave me a flat, so I moved in the middle of January. And as it transpired, all was not well. The the thing with it is it's the same if you've seen the previous videos. Yeah. So what have you got? Yeah. You've got a claim to the throne, which is something to do with, well, I originally thought, because my grandmother had said Archbishop of York, you look at the Stuarts, I'd say Henry the Ninth. Don't really know, but my auntie said no, it's John Williams, the Archbishop of York, and that also sort of sounded, that sort of was plausible as well. It was because I remember when I was 4 years old, I inherited a mountain from my old man, made me sign it away, and that was in the Bettws-y-Coed area, where John Williams, who was one of the Winds of Gwynedd, owned a lot of land in that area. So Prince Charles, obviously being one of the Hanoverian descendants, doesn't legally own any land. Needs to defraud it as well as the throne. We know that this is about the murder of Lady Diana, isn't it? Yeah, she had sent a man to warn me that Prince Charles was bribing all my friends when I was a teenager, and she could have made sure he never gets the throne by explaining to the press that Charles has got this dangerous, excessive behaviour, malicious, malevolent things towards Robert Alexander Jones, doing things and saying things. So, something I've been able to prove without any doubt at all over the years. You know, people have said things to me, and it's been written down, and there it is. You know, so Prince Charles is not going to be king. I can tell you that for a start. But what happened in the biodiesel plant was typically what people they bribe do. Yeah, they just bribe the people that work there, so they don't need to make any money from biodiesel, because they make a lot more money getting bribes to falsely portray me as having a psychotic illness I don't have. So if they want to make money out of defamation of my character, you know, they haven't apologised. What they should do is apologise, admit it, take it all back, you know, and leave it at that. But they won't, you know. So they can start telling other people like a psychotic delusions about various things, you know, because the Queen can waive a tax anyway. You know, it's up to her. She's paid for it, a tax. All the tax goes to her. You know, if there's tax evasion, she can just say, well, my revenue does not require receipts from these people. She does it all the time with people they bribe. You know, so it's cool. But the pikey, I don't know, because do you think Prince Charles is really going to have a pikey going around saying things like, oh, I seriously believe if they wanted you dead, you'd be dead? Yeah, and after he's been caught red-handed playing these games, getting a key cut to my room, going in there, leaving the stereo on, yeah, so I come back and they go, oh, you must have left it on, you know, well, my mind is going, I'm leaving the stereo on. I'm like, well, is it not? You know, they don't leave the front gates open, so people can come in and steal their biodiesel. They only leave the stereo on in my room, you know, so, and also the bio-warfare terrorism, you know, which he's sort of tried to win my trust, confidence trickster, win my trust so he could try and confuse me thinking that it's something other than biowarfare terrorism. There's an interesting connection to the arrest over the blackmailer hunted in life science. You know, one of the people arrested over the conspiracy to blackmail hunted in life science, I believe, has been blackmailed into biowarfare terrorism. It's very hard to explain the facts any other way. But when they start doing these things, yeah, hide your boots, your safety boots. You go out, buy a new pair, because they're obviously not there where they should be, and you need to get on with things, taking the work seriously. And then they put them back, and they're saying they were there all the time, and question your mind. Well, it becomes obvious then they don't need to make any money from buying people, and they start telling you if they wanted you dead, you'd be dead, and start telling you they could kidnap you quite easily. And then you ask them, does that explain the damage to the back door? Somebody had got a vehicle against the back door and tried to press it open, a big sliding door for lorries to come in and out through on the forklift truck. Now, the only way a vehicle could have got to that is if someone with a key had let them in, because the padlock to the compound was untouched. So I said, that you're telling me, I haven't said this, that you're telling me that they could quite easily kidnap me. Now, is the plot to kidnap me related to the damage to the back door, which was obviously an inside job? They gave no reply. So, there had been a helicopter hovering right over the biodiesel plant not long after I got there, and it was the no undercarriage, like a sort of Black Hawk, a civilian Black Hawk helicopter, I'd describe it, something like that. And when I was driving back down west one evening, I did think I got a glimpse of Camilla, which I thought was odd, but then the next bloke to overtake me in a car with a roof rack looked like Prince Harry was a ginger man. Don't know about that, only caught glimpses. Not sure, but if you go back through the material I've given, it's already proven, established fact that Prince Charles is intimately involved. I mean, Prince Charles is so involved, he gets a kick out of, if I've got 40 pence credit left on the mobile phone, and I send one text, the credit goes down to nothing, because he's defrauded me then, and that's his neurosis. He gets 13 grand a day off the taxpayer to go and blow on any rubbish. But that's his neurosis. So, having caught the people in the biodiesel plant red-handed in the pay of the Secret Service and working with Prince Charles on what they think is a conspiracy to falsely portray me as mentally ill, a conspiracy to deform character, but it is a murder conspiracy. They know that. And I wrote to the other director, the first director with the key cut and then turning the stereo on. And then I wrote to the other director to get her sounding off it so I could prove she was also involved in it. So I decided to blow them out and move on to new things. But that's the news update. Also, there's been the paedophile police officer. There was nothing to prove. He was on a charge. He was stabbed 20 times. The guy that did it said it was self-defense. Forgot the knife was in his hand. Got off with manslaughter. He'll serve another 4 years after his year on remand. He'll be out. That was the brother of one of the people that Lady Diana warned me Prince Charles was bribing. Isn't it strange? And Prince Charles has been bribing people, my friends, to falsely accuse me of being a paedophile. So these things are linked. And then, of course, Richard Shrapnel, who used to hang around with him, in the early 90s, when the police actually stopped me in Llanelli Town Precinct, the off-duty police officer stopped me. He also told me Prince Charles was bribing all my friends, as well as the man Lady Diana sent. I said that's what they were trying to get me into drugs. So I never let them get me into heroin. Like they'd ask me, do you want to try heroin? No, I didn't. But Richard Shrapnel used to hang around with them at the time, who were well known about this, you see. But he's had his throat slashed. They said, do you think Daniel Williams getting off with murder and then Richard Shrapnel getting his throat slashed? All these things in Llanelli, where the cops are bent and they work for Prince Charles, the chief constable's bent. Are all these things connected? Because there was some explaining to do, if they're going to say they're not. Anyway, I'll leave it there. That's my little Sunday morning broadcast. Goodbye.